All right, how Zack and Cody escaped from Disney?
Too common that child stars struggle
say
adapting
escaped?
to
What
a more
happened?
normal life after television fame, mostly because of the pressure enforced on them at such a young age, plus all
So
the flaws,
sad.
successes, and failures are publicized to millions of people. Dylan Sprouse and Cole Sprouse are two identical twins that had wildly successful careers that started when they were just 8 months old. We know that Disney actors are often overworked, develop emotional trauma, and
It's a
have a hard time
prison?
getting away from the label
never
of
knew.
child star. Even at a young age, the twins realized this and started their master plan to capitalize on the rewards of being a Disney star, only to escape and leave their past behind them forever. Make sure you're hydrated while watching this video.
Well,
Dylan and Cole
I just
Sprouse
got
are the
some.
30-year-old twins mostly known for their two major hit Disney TV shows, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and the sequel, Sweet Life on Deck. But before they did that, they had some other pretty major accomplishments. They starred as Julian in Big Daddy. They played Ross's son on Friends, voice acting in 8 Crazy Nights, as well as a ton of different TV roles and direct-to-video films. Not only were the two adorable and talented actors, but being identical twins gave them an advantage. It allowed Hollywood producers to cast them as the same person. Child labor laws prevent actors under 18 from being overworked. When Cole was done shooting a scene, Dylan would step in to do the other, and they would trade off. And producers were able to get double the work out of essentially one kid. 2005,
Yo.
The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Danny Callis, who ended up writing
That's
the show,
W
always
stuff.
dreamed of doing his version of Eloise at the Plaza, which was a family film about a sweet but mischievous 6-year-old who lives in the Plaza Hotel in New York City. He actually wrote the idea of
These
the show
kids
2
gotta be
times
set
and
for life.
tried to sell it to
Like,
different
bro.
networks. When he approached the Disney Channel, they actually said to him, "Here's 2 twins.
Well, they're not
what
kids
can you
anymore,
build
but you
around
know what I
them?"
mean.
He wrote the idea for The Sweet Life for the 3rd time, and it got picked up. The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody was about 2 twin boys who live at the 5-star Tipton Hotel because their mother was an employed singer who performed in the lounge multiple times per week. While she was working or sleeping, the boys would find themselves getting into all kinds of predicaments that they had to work together to get out
I
of.
remember watching
Zack,
this
played
show.
by Dylan, was the cool, outgoing, and self-centered brother, while Cody, played by Cole, was the more mature, nerdy, and gentle twin. Exactly the same as Drake and Josh. But what's funny is, Dylan and Cole ended up being very similar to their roles on the show in real life. The boys had amazing chemistry together because they were 1, actually brothers, and 2, had been working since before they had conscious thoughts. The show also followed the hotel owner's daughter, London Tipton, played by Brenda Song, who was a parody character of Paris Hilton. She was scatterbrained, rich, and solely focused on boys and fashion, as well as the candy counter employee, Maddie, who was hardworking and intelligent. One thing I gotta give the show mild props for is that they reversed the nerdy, smart Asian and dumb blonde stereotypes. Mr. Mosby was the nervous hotel manager
The
who would
goat!
often try to ruin
The
Zack and
goat!
Cody's fun. He was like a father figure to them as well. When The Sweet Life aired in 2005, it was the most successful premiere in Disney Channel history. It was nominated for 3 Emmys and is wildly loved by fans. These two were living the dream life kids like myself around the world wanted so bad. Plus, if you watch interviews from around this time, they were infectious. They were so lovable.
Now, are y'all both, do you have girlfriends?
No, we are single men. I'm actually looking for a Christian girl with morals and values.
Oh yeah, cook out, Twain, cook out.
Disney knew they needed to
Let 'em
keep
cook.
them around
Let 'em
longer,
cook a little.
so they
Come
came
on.
up with a sequel in 2008, The Sweet Life on Deck. Before they started a new show, they had a gap year, so Dylan and Cole actually got jobs at a comic book store called Meltdown in
Why'd
LA.
they need a
Most of what they
job?
did was packaging, putting the comic books in the little sleeves. But their father always taught them that they can't get wrapped up in celebrity status.
That's
the
probably
16-year-olds
why.
were kids just like everybody else, and that they needed some balance in their life. The boys picked up hobbies. Cole started his journey into photography, and Dylan got into drinking alcohol,
I can't
which
wait
would
till I
be his
buy
next
a
passion.
photography.
But filming was about to start
I'm gonna
again, and it
have a
was time for
camera.
them to
What?
quit the
So I can
comic
do
book store.
photography.
The Sweet Life on Deck airs in 2008 to over 5
I remember
million
that.
viewers. Now they were on the SS Tipton, which was a cruise ship that they lived on, which created tons of new opportunity for them to get in trouble. None of the characters developed much over time. Cody stayed the soft, innocent dork, and Zack stayed the selfish jock. But we were growing up with them. We even watched Cody have to deal with his voice cracking, and the boys looking for their first armpit hairs. They were like the little brothers we always wanted. The 2 shows ran from 2005 to 2011, 168 episodes plus a movie. This was technically
Yep.
the longest running live action show if you combine them. Fans loved the sequel. Some people even thought it was better than the original. I personally think the original was better, but we can fight it out in the comments. Naturally,
both.
like all shows that depend
I
on
think I could
children,
like On
they
Deck
can only
more
last
because
so
I
long.
remember it
Dylan and
more.
Cole were now
Because I was
18
growing
and
up
looked
while watching
vastly
those
different than when
shows.
they started. But the
But
truth
my
is,
brother
they didn't want The
probably
Sweet Life
enjoys
to
the
end as
original one
abruptly
more.
as it did. The twins
Since he was
wanted to
older.
produce and direct one more season of The Sweet Life.
I didn't
They
want
came up
them
with an
either,
idea
it's
where they
fine.
graduate high school, move off the ship, and go back to Boston. In their downtime at college, they would meet a single dad with a child at the hotel. Zack and Cody would kind of raise the boy up like a little brother, showing him all the crazy stuff in the hotel. show, leading him into wacky situations. The final season could have been the perfect way to transition into a whole new show based around the young boy. Cole said that the goal of this was to transition them out of the show, that way the cast and crew didn't have to lose their jobs that they had for the past 6 years. Disney executives laughed in their faces for the idea they came up with, which led to a 5-year hiatus in acting. Here you will see a photo of Dylan Sprouse working as a host in a New York City restaurant, just 2 years after the Disney Channel, which led to multiple assumptions that he was broke.
But when you see a picture of a guy who has made, presumably, and I'm making a presumption here, a lot of money off of a television series and that he's working in a restaurant,
He ain't broke.
Wouldn't that be a reasonable conclusion?
I mean, I definitely think that that's in mind. Although it is negative, it's just a negative way to think for the most part. People can work jobs like that for experience, and I think that's kind of the way I targeted it.
If I didn't know anything about the Sprouse twins, I would have assumed the same thing. But what you will notice in the rest of this video is that the boys, mostly Dylan, have done a lot to escape their previous lives. They both got accepted to New York University and decided to dorm with everyone else and go to college full time. Dylan was majoring in video game design and was something of a video game addict.
Dang.
Cole was an archaeology student, majoring in geographical information systems. He traveled all over the world through their program and even made a big discovery. Cole unearthed a mask of Denisovans in Bulgaria. They both were quite literally just normal college kids from 2011 to 2014, focused on their studies and working side jobs in their free time. This type of normality most definitely prevented them from ending up like countless other child celebrities. Child stars face a lot of pressure to immediately get an adult acting role or start a music career. Whatever it is, if they don't outdo Disney or Nickelodeon, it seems like a step down, because they have millions of fans that want them to still be their 13-year-old selves, but when you get into your 20s, you just want to move on. The pressure ends up eating them alive, and they make mistakes. Then it's highly publicized, which compounds the initial problem. So instead of going down the dark Hollywood path, the twins did the exact opposite. Let's fully step away from this. We can't be compared to our old roles if we aren't doing anything at all. They did stay popular on Twitter and social media and would let the jokes fly. Oh, I get it, Selena. Too good to follow your old pals, Dylan and Cole, huh? This is just like when we were 12. Cole started an Instagram page called Camera Duels, where he would post pictures of people that were trying to secretly take pictures of him, accompanied with comically long captions of him critiquing their strategies. The only scandals or controversies they got in were pretty mild. Dylan took lewd pictures of himself that leaked. Because of this, he gained hundreds of thousands of followers, so it kind of helped him. Then Cole started a Tumblr social experiment that legitimately made some of his fans turn on him, where he pretended to be himself in order to get fans to engage with him. While they were engaging, he was writing deep and philosophical paragraphs on why their perception of him is flawed. Then after 1 month, he deleted his account, told everyone it was a social experiment, and basically made fun of them for idolizing him and engaging. Kind of a douchey move. Like I said before, Cole and Dylan are a lot like Cody and Zach. Cole is the philosophical, poetic, artsy boy who thinks super deeply about everything. Dylan, while still being artsy and well-educated, likes to slam beers with the bros and have a good time. We get it, you're Dylan Sprouse, and you're livid about games and journalism, even though you can't fight me IRL. Catch these hands? We are as the sun. The rays come bearing to our soft-spoken souls, dancing torpidly upon the frail shudder of angst. You're Insta. Remember when I said Dylan discovered his love for alcohol at age 16? Due to his love for history, he became interested in the ancient alcoholic beverage mead, which apparently is the oldest alcohol ever that can be traced back 8,000 years. It's a fermented beverage made of honey, water, and yeast. During his college years, he would practice making his own mead. Some batches were good, some were terrible. But no matter what, he and his roommate Matt got drunk. When Dylan graduated college, he was taking some acting gigs, but he had more free time and wanted to pick up a hobby. Since he was passionate about brewing, he got an internship at a distillery called Kings County in Brooklyn. Working there and getting immersed into this world made him realize how badly he wanted to pursue this hobby into something bigger. The All-Wise Meadery was born, which is his Brooklyn meadery where he actually makes the alcohol himself. A lot of people in the brewing community doubted Dylan. They thought he was a privileged actor boy who grew up with everything and wanted to take over their hard-earned reputation. They didn't realize how passionate he was and how much respect he had for mead and brewing. Plus, he had a lot of people just saying he was another celebrity endorsing a product. Like, he didn't care for it, it was just for money.
I have to explain a lot that I'm actually brewing it. right? I have to explain a lot that these are my recipes. I have to explain a lot to people that this is my business and I'm here every day I can be. That comes as a surprise to a lot of people.
It's kind of wild to see someone go for a much more humble job serving the local community rather than chasing Hollywood fame.
I ain't
Cole,
gonna lie,
on
if
the
I had
other
the
hand,
money
was
and all that
pursuing
stuff,
his
I would do the
photography
same thing.
career. Not so much for money,
After
but
I travel
rather
the
the
world,
art.
but I
One
would
day
still
he
travel
asked
the world every
Traveler
now and then.
magazine if he could work on a piece for them. They said yes, but not for money, since they had no idea he did anything outside of the Disney Channel. So Cole took a 3-day train journey from the West Coast to the East Coast and documented the process. They ended up publishing his article digitally. While this isn't some massive success
Those
story,
pictures are
it just shows
hard.
the boys were trying to
If you
broaden their
took those.
horizons with the luxury of not needing big paychecks. He would go on to be a respected photographer and get some of his pieces published in high-profile magazines. But Cole would ultimately get back into acting. In 2017, he got a consistent role on the wildly successful teen drama show Riverdale, which has been running for 7
haven't
seasons,
watched it,
as well
so
as
I've only
lead
heard
roles in
girls
the
talk
movies
about it.
5 Feet Apart and Moonshot. I definitely see Cole pursuing more large acting gigs in his career. Dylan did also get back into acting in 2017. His team suggested that he shoot for lead roles in big projects like his
No
brother,
CW.
but he prefers small indie films and wanted to participate on good projects regardless of the character size or depth. Dylan still spends a lot of his time focusing on video games. He's extremely immersed in Dungeons & Dragons and offers his help with indie game developers. He even recently released his own comic book called Sun Eater. My brother and I used to get quite a bit of, "Oh, you made it out. Oh, you're unscathed." No, the young women on the channel we were on were so heavily sexualized from such an earlier age than my brother and I that there's absolutely no way that we could compare our experiences. Cole has been vehemently against child stars getting criticized for their downward spirals, because there are mostly women being targeted and the public doesn't seem to understand the difficulty of being a child star or what goes on behind the scenes. Dylan and Cole actually started getting into acting because their family needed money, so they put their 1-year-olds to work. This sounds like a recipe for disaster, but it seems as if their parents instilled the right values in them to maintain balance as a celebrity. Some people believe Disney exhausts and overworks children for our entertainment. Cole says that they didn't suffer as much trauma since they were boys, which could be very true. I also believe that stepping away from the spotlight and pursuing something normal was the key to them maintaining their sanity and integrity. Although they look back on their past fondly and came out unscathed, we will never get a Sweet Life of Zach and Cody reboot.
I'm asked all the time if
I'll take
Dylan and
it.
I are
As
gonna
long as
do
they're
a
enjoying their
Sweet
life and all
reboot,
that
and I go, no, absolutely not.
Honestly, confidently, no. No, I don't think that we will.
Yeah, because I mean, like they were just saying that it was practically taking like all their time and all that stuff, and now they got like their own hobbies and stuff, and their own jobs. That's awesome. All right, Dreamer, you 3 for 3 with your video. What the freak? 3 for 3 content manager so far.
Album, homie, I wonder who wrote it. Oh shit, oh take, pray them niggas go away. Oh, we sell the clowns around, it look like circus show. Like, this is not the album either, these are just a dough.